Hello, darlings. It's only me.
You'd even be there.
Thank God it's...
I bring you the very breast in the news today. Now you see her.
The next half hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another outrageous video. How can I do this to you on a Friday, the 5th of September, to say no more than that? But listen, without today's video, we wouldn't have the lights on or pizza being delivered to us in about 10 minutes time from now. And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is nobody. That's just you folks hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, and getting on with today's story, which is about an actress I've suddenly developed a deep-rooted affection for. Because the actress I'm speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, isn't the double D delight they call Daphne Keane.
We get to experience the love story that is Chris and Ellie. And we meet this little...
Wow, Collider, I thank you so much. But in today's video, folks, we're talking about Sydney Sweeney. Under the spotlight again from the liberal woke tards they call leftists. Why? Because she's dared to take on another role, that of a ballerina, for a new feature film, Kung Fu? No, you silly fool, for Jimmy Choo. Don't say who, but too late, you have just said that. Yes, Jimmy Choo has signed up Sydney Sweeney for a multitude of ads for their campaign at the moment. And in one of the ads, she dares to play a ballerina, something she was never trained to do. But again, people forget she's an actress. She's a pretender, like most people are in normal walks of life. She's already caught the ire of left-wing nut jobs with the American Eagle jeans ad, because simply they can't separate the word jeans from the apparel called jeans, like I normally wear, like cowboys wore back in the 1800s. But without further ado, folks, let's get on with today's video.
What does this clip of Daphne Keane have to do with today's video? Nothing. Kung Fu Hot Dog thinks she's hot, and I agree. The only crime against the male gaze, it wasn't shot in 4K.
Cut a ticket and make her gay!
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
But courtesy of Marvin Montanaro, he's no friend of mine, but maybe one day we could end up being that way, nudge nudge wink wink. Opinion, Sydney Sweeney ballet backlash shows just how unhinged activists have become. That's right, folks, Miss Sydney Sweeney is not a trained ballet dancer. Therefore, appearing in the Jimmy Choo ad where she's wearing a leotard and boots, again, all in the name of satire, spoofing, sending up something. Because listen, ballet dancing, I've got a ballet academy not far from where I live. I can only imagine those poor ladies who go and train arduously day upon day, damaging their toes, and YouTube don't actually strike me for that, because it's an actual fact. When the ladies are pirouetting all over the place, they can do serious damage. So the phrase Sydney Sweeney ballet should be trending right now because of a stylish new Jimmy Choo campaign, not because online activists have lost their mind again, but yet here we are. The actress slipped into a leotard and boots, a favorite combination of mine, especially on a Sunday morning, for an ad that playfully leaned into ballet imagery, and the outrage brigade has declared it offensive to actual dancers. These are people who haven't lived in their life. They just see something, they object to it, they've got to be outrageous about it because that's a license to thrill, I think is the phrase I'm looking for, or ill, that the internet has allowed us to do now. We're our own people on our own soapboxes, saying what we want within reason without offending people. But either way, even if you're neutral or you're left or you're right, you're going to offend people. I gotta say, Sydney Sweeney is looking, shall we say, rather delightful, and she makes me want to take up ballet, but I probably shouldn't at my day and age. But Amanda, Sydney Sweeney pretending to be a ballerina in an ad, so disrespectful to all the girls who have spent their lives learning the craft, just for some basic blonde girl to come in and pretend to be one of them. Shameful. I mean, again, the grammatical errors from Amanda. It should be and pretend. Terrible. Amanda, the whatever. Who cares? Who cares what her handle is on X? I'm just more caring about the fact that Sydney Sweeney should have been wearing leg warmers here. But then again, let's get on with this, folks, because it just gets so ridiculous. According to critics, Sweeney pretending to be a ballerina is some sort of a crime against the art form. That's right, a fashion ad, not a live performance at the Bolshoi, but a fashion ad. Yeah, we're not going to see Sydney Sweeney playing Berezhnikov anytime soon, are we? Somehow it's being treated as disrespectful to an entire profession. This is where the internet culture wars eat themselves alive. So Jimmy Choo tapped Sydney Sweeney for its campaign of this fall, giving her multiple alter egos in sleek outfits, hopefully as sleek as this one right here. Well, let's carry on. One of those was a ballet-inspired persona posed at the bar while holding a script. The imagery was stylized, fashion forward, and in line with ballet core, a popular trend in couture, don't you know? But progressive critics immediately pounced. One viral post blasted Sweeney as a basic blonde girl who dared to don ballet attire without years of grueling training. And let's go back to Amanda, because we can see that she's anything but the opposite of what Sydney Sweeney is. So again, people who are ugly, who live under rocks, who sees somebody very attractive like Sweeney, of course they're going to call them out on their supposed basicness, because that's what we like to do these days, folks. Again, she's not spent time in the ballet shoes of actual ballerinas. That's Sydney Sweeney. Oh, how dare she not spend time and train to actually qualify to be that? It's called acting, you numbnuts. That's what it's all about. And Marvin Montanaro gets to a very good point here. Steve Chung 47 says, cancel culture run amok. This warped, moronic, I would actually argue demonic as well, Steve, and dense liberal thinking is a big reason why Americans voted the way they did in 2024. They're tired of this shit. Of course they are. American Eagles, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, and I wouldn't argue from where I'm sitting. Others accused her of mocking an art form. That's the new standard. Actors and actresses aren't allowed to act unless they've logged the real world resume of the role they're playing. And this isn't the first manufactured outrage. Of course it's not. And if it all sounds familiar, Sydney, obviously very flexible in a pair of American Eagle jeans, doing something that I haven't seen a woman do to me for a very, very long time. The great jeans debacle. And again, we all know this story already, folks. Again, they're confusing the word jeans with the genes inside of your body, right? That makes you who you are. But quite clearly, Libbies don't get it. The voter registration witch hunt. Not long after, political activists dug up her voter registration records to prove she was a registered Republican. Oh my God, what a horrible crime. In Hollywood, that was treated like uncovering a scandal. For many progressives, her political affiliation, not her talent, was enough to brand her problematic and cancelled. And they failed miserably. Hilarious. And I tell you what, with all the cancel culture against Sydney Sweeney, which is going nowhere, it gives guys and girls like me on YouTube a chance to say our piece. And I tell you what, Sydney, if you end up watching this video, give us a call, love. Let's do an interview on my channel. I think it'll bring the house down, and I can't wait. I can't pay you, of course, but I don't think you need the money right now. So here we go. Breaking. Sydney Sweeney's getting backlash for appearing as a ballerina in the Jimmy Choo ad, despite not being a ballerina. Let's have a look at this, folks. In fact, let's blow it up because I want to see this. And that's it, all 4 seconds, and that's the best 4 seconds I've ever had. Now, let's apply a little common sense, says Marvin Montanaro, and some good bullet points here. Natalie Portman wasn't a lifelong professional ballerina before Black Swan. She had taken some classes as a child. Mickey Rourke wasn't a professional wrestler before he starred in Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler. Liam Neeson wasn't a retired CIA assassin when he made Taken. Danny Glover had never managed a major baseball league team before Angels in the Outfield. Now, I can add to that list. Clint Eastwood wasn't a cop before he played Dirty Harry. Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate were not professional newscasters before appearing in Anchorman 1 and 2. And the Band of Brothers guys from the original OG series, Damian Lewis, Tom Hardy, all those folks, none of them were ever served in an army military unit, an outfit. And if they were, well, apologies, but to the best of my knowledge, those guys never undertook military training except for the boot camps they were told to do before cameras rolled for that epic TV series. I mean, the list goes on and on, right, folks? I mean, a straight actor playing a gay role. Oh, what? Was he supposed to be gay before he understood the nuances of playing a gay person? No, because you're acting, dude. And if you're going to play a very complex role like that, it's going to take a lot of complex research, right? What's really going on? The truth is simple. Sydney Sweeney has become a cultural lightning rod. I couldn't agree more. She isn't outspokenly progressive. She doesn't bend the knee to online mobs. She hasn't curated her image around activism, and most damning of all to many of these people, she's pretty, and for that she's become a prime target. Yeah, she starred in Euphoria with Hunter Schafer, and the less said about that dude, the better. With Zendaya, who you can definitely say is very, very progressive, may have some mild takes that I've not seen her do, but you can kind of see, like even in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, like even though she's kind of joking with her ad-libby lines, you kind of know she's playing a progressive character in those films, right? Every ad she shoots, every role she takes, every breath she takes, for goodness sakes, becomes another excuse for critics to pile on. This isn't about ballet, it's about punishing someone who refuses to play the ideological rules of the moment or the game. And it's not like Sydney Sweeney's out on the campaign trail wearing a red hat and praising President Trump. She keeps her political opinions to herself and she just does her job. I think Kurt Russell said a very similar thing, didn't he? Where he said you should just be paid for the job of acting and keep your opinions on the sidelines. Don't bring them into the discussion. You know, when you bring your actor friends round, sure, you can discuss those things off the record. They must never be on the record, because I guess they know it's a bit of a horrible culture going on, especially in Hollywood, in entertainment. If you got the wrong thing, oh my God, the thought police are going to come knocking on your door. You're going to get punished, just like Graham Linehan has apparently. Might be going to jail. That's what I've heard, but it is what it is. Because again, we've got the worst government ever on record, which is why I'm never ever voting again. But anyway, folks, interesting story. Had to record it. I'm a fan of Sydney Sweeney. I never used to be. I was quite critical of her before because I just thought she was a no-brained, talentless actress. But over the last few months of this year, I've definitely grown to appreciate her. Yeah, she's got a fantastic body. She's a nice looking woman, but the way she comes across, she's very personable, and she's allowed to be in certain campaign ads. Obviously, I think, again, credit to Jimmy Choo, to American Eagle. Whoever's behind their marketing campaigns to elicit the reactions, it's brilliant because it's obviously working, right? And full marks to them. They should all get raises as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, folks, that's about it for now. I'm waiting for my Papa John's extra large double ham, double pineapple pizza to arrive. And on that one, Ladies and gentlemen, if you were me and if I were you, you should definitely return for the next video. God, don't I look so good now, folks? I know, I'm so modestly not shy about it.
Let's face it, guys only want one thing.
Wish I had something natural instead of this synthetic body wash. Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie?
Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash for men. They're tired of smelling thirsty.
Sydney Sweeney. Holy coconuts, it even smells natural.
And it's moisturizing. At the end of the day, they just want to crack open a natural one with the boys.
Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie.
Dr. Squatch Body Wash for men who prefer natural.